Okay, today we are covering atoms or introducing atoms. So we're going to start off our class by taking our summative assessment on renewable and non-renewable resources, and you'll find that in your 923 Intro to Atoms folder in Schoology. The second thing we're going to do is go through the slide deck and review the parts of the atom that you learned in 6th grade. And then during our learning lab time, you will work on an atoms review activity, and that is a formative assignment to be turned in for Monday. If you have time after you're done with your atoms review activity, you may continue working on your lab report that we started yesterday. That is due on Monday as well. And then letting you know that your test on this material will be on Tuesday, the 29th. This mini lesson is just going to focus on 4 things. The essential questions today are: what's the basic structure of the atom? What are the particles' charges? So subatomic particles are the 3 main parts of the atom. And then how do protons determine what atom is what? Atoms are the basic building blocks of ordinary matter. So if we imagine having a brick of gold, that brick of 100% gold is going to be made only of gold atoms, creating our element. And there are 3 basic parts to that atom: the protons, neutrons, and electrons. And we also call those parts subatomic particles to be part of the atom. So over here we have protons, neutrons, and the electrons moving around that nucleus. The structure of our atom consists of the nucleus in the center and an electron cloud. So we have the nucleus here, and then everything around this is the electron cloud. And within that nucleus, we have the protons and neutrons, with the electrons moving all around, creating that electron cloud. You'll learn more about the atomic model and the history of how it's changed when we get into our chemistry unit. Protons are positively charged particles, and we will notice we've got 3 gray protons here, and they are in the nucleus. So they're one of the parts making up the nucleus, and they help to make up the atom's mass. So 1 proton weighs 1 AMU, or we would call it an atomic mass unit. And we use the proton number to determine what element it is. So that proton number is also called their atomic number. So this diagram has 3 protons. If we go to a periodic table, on the periodic table, we can figure out which element that is. We have all of the protons going from left to right, numbered in order. So we have 1 proton for hydrogen, 2 for helium, 3 for lithium. So lithium is the model that we saw on that previous slide. If we wanted another atom to be changing to a different element, we would simply change the number of protons. So in order to go from platinum, which is 78 protons, to gold, we would add a proton. Neutrons have no electrical charge, so they're also in the nucleus, and they also have 1 atomic mass unit that make up the mass of that atom. So we have 3 protons, we have 3 neutrons. With those, it makes 6. So the atomic mass of this atom would be 6. When we talk about the electrons, though, they are negatively charged. They are located outside of the nucleus, and they're moving with such energy that they don't contribute any weight to that atom's mass. So we could say that it would take 2,000 electrons to equal 1 proton's mass, or 1 of the neutrons. And so an electron is 1/2000th of an AMU. This is a neutral in a neutral atom, the number of protons and electrons are equal. So in this case, this is definitely not a neutral atom. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 electrons here, and we only have 3 protons. So this is not a neutral atom. We'll explain that more when we get into chemistry. What we did in class was we sorted all of the circles that were over here on the left, and we put them in their respective places. It kind of sums up the last few slides that I talked about. And you will do a similar activity using these on your atoms review. So if you want to pause your video now and go and check your work, this will be a good way for you to check what you've done. So we summarized with these 2 questions that we can have the protons, neutrons, and electrons with a charge. Protons and neutrons are found in our nucleus, and the electrons in the electron cloud, and that we identify an element based on their number of protons. So if I have 3 protons, I'd go to the atomic number on the periodic table of 3, and I'd find that it's the element of lithium. So I hope this helps you guys to complete your activity. And if you have any questions, please reach out and let me know.